Hello everyone and welcome with another LeetCode problem. This is quite an interesting problem. The question says, given an integer array nums, find the contiguous subarray containing at least one number which has the largest sum and return its sum. A subarray is a contiguous part of an array. So basically we need to find a subarray such that when we are going to add the elements, I'm going to get the highest sum value. The size of the subarray can vary depending upon like whatever the size it can be. The goal is that the sum of that subarray should be the maximum one. I cannot choose the random elements because those will not be in a contiguous array. So basically in a contiguous array the elements should come in order. Okay, and secondly they need to be consecutive to each other. So let's see how we are going to solve this problem. All right, so what we need to do is we are going to keep three things. We need to keep track of these three things. So whenever I need to solve or try to understand this type of problem, I always try to make a table that will help me to understand these things, right? So what will be the current situation whenever when I'm start the loop, when I'm going to start the loop? Before starting the loop, I need to initialize my current pointer. My current pointer will be equal to 0. This is before starting the loop. And my maximum pointer will be the first element. So my maximum value should be the first element of the array. Okay. This is how I'm going to start. What is the strategy? What basically I'm trying to do? I'm going to add these elements in such a way, I'm going to add these elements in such a way that I keep track of the maximum value. If I'm going to get the maximum value by adding the element, I will replace the maximum value. And then otherwise I'll keep on moving. Now, another thing that you will notice that if I'm adding the elements, right? And whatever I'm adding, the result should be saved in the current result should be saved in the current variable. Okay, now when I'm trying to add, if I'm getting any value which is less than -1, so I need to make it to 0. So I need to make current sum 0. What does that mean? The meaning is like if I'm getting any negative value, either it be -1, -2, whatever the minus value, can it ever contribute positive or a gain to my sum? Can no, it can never. A negative value can never add any positive to the sum, right? So whenever I'm adding the elements, if by that element, whatever the element I have been added, if the value is negative, then make current sum equal to 0. What does that mean? Discard those elements, they are of no benefit for me. I need to start adding from the next element, right? So let's start with the loop. At the first iteration, when the first iteration will start, my I'm pointing at this index at the moment, right? The current sum, whatever the current sum, what current sum is going to hold, it will hold whatever the sum by this point is added to its own self, right? So if you see at the moment current sum is equal to 0. 0 when added to -2, it will become -2, right? It will become -2, okay? And then what maximum will hold? Maximum will compare itself and the current sum. So maximum will say, and whatever the maximum value will be, this variable will hold that maximum value. So at the moment current is -2, and the max variable we initialize it with the first value which is -2 as well. So it will compare -2 is greater than -2, no, then it will keep its value same. But what do we what we said, or what we did the assumption that as the value get a negative, what we need to do, we need to discard it to 0. So it was -2, but as it was negative, I have made it to 0. Now I am going to the next step. Now my I is 1. All right, so the what the current variable will hold, it will add the its current value, whatever the current value is, with the value at ith place. So 0 plus 1 will give you 1. Now it will come the maximum. In the maximum, I'm going to compare Is 1, which is the current value, greater than minus 2? Yes, it is. Okay, then change the value to 1. And then I'm going to go to the next loop. Now I'm at the position this one, because this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, I'll write the position so to understand it better. Okay, so 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, now I'm at the position 2. What was the value of current? It was 1. I'm going to add 1 minus 3, and what it will give me? It will give me minus 2. Is minus 2 greater than the current value? No, then keep 1. But we need to do one thing. As it is less than minus 1, then make this value 0 again, because it will not give me any benefit. And that means discard till this point. I don't need this array because it is not going to contribute any positiveness in my current sum. All right, so I don't need this part of the array. All right, so now I'm on the third index. Okay, whatever the value of the current, it is 0. I will add 3 into it, so I'm going to get 3. Okay, it will compare 3 and 1, which is maximum. 3 is maximum, then change the max value with the 3 as well. Go to the next index. Okay, all right, then in the next I'm here now. 4 minus 1, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3, right? But from 3 and 3, which is the maximum value? It is already 3. No need to change. I'm not changing it. But I'm not going to make it 0, because this is still a positive number and it can contribute a good result in my sum. All right, I'm going to the next value, which is 5, because this is the next index. Okay, I'm going to add the current value, which is 3, with the value 2. This is my value 2. I'm going to add it. 3 plus 2, this gives me 5. Now the maximum will compare these two values. So I'm getting the maximum value. I'm getting a higher value. So replace this with the value 5. Now I'm going to the index 6. Okay, and then I'm going to add whatever the value on the index 6. So I'm here. I will see the value 1. So I'm going to add 5 with 1, which gives me 6. And I see that my maximum is less than 6. So I'm replacing my maximum with the value 6. Now I'm going to go to the 7th index. When I go to the 7th index, what value I'm going to get? It's minus 5. Add minus 5 to the current value, which is 6. What I'm going to get? It's 1, right? And then I'm not going to update my maximum. It will remain same. Now I'm going to go to the 8th index, which is the value 4. Okay, so when I'm going to add this value 4 with this, I'm going to get 5. And when I compare my maximum with the value 5, I already have the maximum value, so I'll keep this. And as the loop already has reached this position, I'm going to end. And whatever the maximum value, this is what I'm going to return. I hope you have understood the complete loop and how what conditions should be applied. Now let's start writing the code for it. So I'm in Python. You can initialize two variables in the same line. How? So for example, max value. Because I need two variables, right? Max value and current value, right? Then in max value, what I need the first variable, right? Nums I, which is basically, I'm sorry, not nums I, num0, which is the first variable of the array. And then for the current value, I'm going to give it 0. So this is the way how you can initialize two variables in one line, right? The next thing is just starting a loop for I in range length of nums. You should know that the the loop doesn't include this value. So it will start from 0 and it will go the length. So for example, these are, for example, 8. For example, the length is 8. The loop will run from 0 to 7. Okay. The last value or whatever the last value is always excluded. Okay. Now, what I need to do, current sum plus equal to, meaning current sum is equal to current sum itself plus whatever the value of nums at that position. And then I need to check in maximum sum. I need to update depending upon if I'm getting the higher value. So I'm applying the max function. So check maximum between the current sum and the max value, whatever the maximum value is. So it will, this max function, it will check that between these two variables, whatever the maximum value will be, it will give it into this variable. All right. Then I'm going to check if current sum is less than 0, then just make current sum equal to 0, which means it is not contributing any positiveness. That part of the array is not contributing any positiveness to the array. Yeah, or sorry. And then return what we need to return, the max value. All right, let's try to run this. Wow, line. Okay, so basically, okay, the error is here I have given current sum and I'm using current value. Wow. Sorry for these small errors. You should make it and then you should try to understand how to solve these errors. Now, what is the next error? Max sum. Oh my god, how can I? Sometimes writing. So let's make it max sum. I mean, you should stick to some standard convention so that you don't make these silly mistakes. Right. Now what you will say? Are you going to give me another error? No. Finally you accept it. Thank you. So let's try to submit it. Wow, our program is 70% efficient. Thank you for watching it till end. I hope to see you next time with another episode. Until then, take care. Bye bye.